Hello everyone. Welcome to Confessions Jury, where people put themselves on the spot, waiting for your judgment. Sit comfortably and listen carefully, as you're about to hear today's cases. You hold the hammer and you apply the law. Let us have your verdict down in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for refusing to give my brother a character letter to help his court trail after what he did to a friend's daughter? So I, 28F, have a brother 31M who is looking at serving time in prison for intimate relations with a minor 14F who is one of my friend's daughter. This has been going on for months, as evidence states, and we only found out a few weeks ago. When I found out about this, I had a discussion with my friend and apologized for what happened, but understandably she wants space. I have also cut off my brother, as this whole situation is just disgusting to me. My parents, however, have stayed by his side and are trying to say the only reason he did what he did is because he has autism and didn't know what he was doing was wrong. Despite them being shown text messages where he states himself that what he was doing was bad and he could be sent to prison for it. However, after they spoke to my brother's lawyer, he stated that we could each write up a character letter to be presented for him in court so the judge can have better understanding of who is beside the incident. But I refused because I don't think he deserves it. I'm currently 6 months pregnant and I don't want my daughter to be around/grow up with a man like my brother. I've spoken to my husband about this for another opinion and he agrees with me not submitting a character letter. But we are thinking of talking to the children that my brother was around in the family just to make sure that he hasn't done anything to them. My mother is dying and she says she doesn't want to pass while her son is serving time in prison for something, in her words, that wasn't that bad. Both her and my father are pressuring me to do this, and seeing them so upset is hard for me, but whenever I even think about doing it makes me sick. I just wanted to ask for everyone else's opinion on what I should do. Me and my brother were extremely close up until this point, which I think is making this harder for me. Should I cut out my parents too? Should I make the letter? What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for bringing up just how much I actually do for our household to my wife? With update. My wife, 41F, and I, 42M, have been married for 15 years. I apparently surprised her by being capable of doing household chores and tasks, which I didn't think much of. My mom always asked me to help out with chores when I was a kid, so I didn't think it was beneath me or anything. I do think I inherited her need to clean excessively, like it's so bad that I can't eat until a mess is dealt with. My mom is an amazing cook, my aunt was a literal chef at a fancy hotel, and my dad loved having barbecues. It was pretty natural to learn from them and pick up a thing or two. The only thing I didn't pick up was how to make a decent cup of tea or coffee. I'm genuinely awful at it. It got to a point where I was handling most of the household chores and taking care of cooking, which I prefer anyways since she comes home exhausted. I've been asking our children, 11F and 9M, to do some minor tasks around the house and hopefully teach them this sort of thing too. She has a group of friends who hang out regularly. This time it was her turn to host the group at her home. I offered to take our children out for the day, and it was all set. Before we left, I had to finish up some things for work. The office space is practically on top of our living room, so I could hear what they were talking about the entire time. One of the friends asked how she always kept our house so spotless, and my wife just bragged about how she was responsible for it all. Then they all started talking about their gripes with their marriages. A common theme was how unhelpful their spouses were. I felt pretty uncomfortable, so I just left the office and went out with the kids. I came back after they had left for the night and acted as normal until we got to our bedroom. I asked her what was up with that conversation they had and pointed out that I did the cooking and cleaning in our marriage. She told me not to take it personally and that she just wanted to fit in with the struggles of her friends. Now I just feel unappreciated, especially since I don't clearly remember any genuine gratitude for what I do from her. Since then, she's been pretty short with me. She says I'm weaponizing what I'm doing against her and holding it over her head. I don't expect her to compliment me each time I clean or defend me religiously, just a little. My husband is pretty helpful actually, he does his share would be nice. I can't help but feel like her friends think I'm some sort of deadbeat who comes home to relax and neglect her. Update. I think I'm just done at this point. I did something I never did before and went into her phone while she slept. We both know each other's passwords, so it wasn't really difficult. Some of the cheating comments got to me, and I felt pretty paranoid about this situation. Instead, I found a group chat with some of her work friends, different from the other friends she had over. It was just nonstop mockery of me and some of the stuff I did for her. She told them how embarrassed she feels to be with me and that I dote on her like a parent and don't feel like her husband. The lunches I pack for her are humiliating because I add sweets and other treats I know she likes. Some of her coworkers teased her about the snacks I have in for her, and she admitted to just throwing them out at work. She doesn't have any issue eating them at home, but at work she throws out my baking. She had some choice words to say about me in her chat, some of which I don't have the courage to type out here. One of her meme pictures was of me on my knees scrubbing a bathroom tile, edited to have some sort of dress on like I was some sort of housewife from the 1960s or something. I just closed her phone and left the bedroom. I confronted her about the chat in the morning and the contents of it, which got her panicking. I focused on our kids this morning and left her to her own devices. It's not like she would have appreciated a kid's lunch anyways. Now she's texting me like crazy at the office, but I think I lost all respect for her and what she's become. Not only does she find me overbearing and embarrassing as a husband, but then I find out she mocks me to her friends and exposes some sensitive relationship issues to her group chat. This will probably be the last update, since I don't think she can come back from this. We just celebrated our 15th anniversary last month too. I feel like a loser now after seeing what my wife actually thinks of me. What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for being frustrated and disgusted for what my sister and Bill did and doing something for my niece? I'm an auntie and I never want kids. Me and my husband went over to my big sister's house about 2 weeks ago, and she has 4 kids, my homegirl Legacy, 13F, and then my nephews Leon, 4, Leo, 4, and Landon, 3W. I'm not very fond of the twins because they take up their sister's attention and space. Legacy just turned 13 2 weeks ago. When it was time for the party, absolutely none of her friends came. It was only her cousins, ages 8 to 4 years old, and I was pissed because yes, cousins can come, but what about her friends? Her cousins are literally still under the age of 10, and most of them are boys, and they don't even spend time with her anymore because she's older to them. She has maybe 3 best friends she wanted to invite, she told me. Legacy didn't have any fun whatsoever. Her mom had a ball pit for little kids, a small water slide, one of those inflatable water slides for small kids. It was hell, I tell you, hell. In the goodie bags my sister put in a whole bunch of kid stuff in there, and I promise to God I almost peed on myself from being disturbed by the fact that she had a damn Minnie and Mickey Mouse mini drawing pad in there, and not only did she have baby stuff in there, Legacy didn't even get a goddamn bag. Yeah, it got baby stuff in there, but at least let her have a fucking bag. Legacy couldn't even do anything there cause her mom had her taking care of her brother. She put one candle into the back, which was confusing to me because she's 13, not 1. But then she blew the candle out, and then my sister put another one on, and she told the kids to line up, and they all blew out the candles, and I was fucking damned out of this world. Like, if she don't get her fucking shit together, I swear. But then I left because I so pissed. So I did what I did best, and took matters into my own hands. Me and my husband were so mad at my sister that we decided that we were gonna be the responsible and intelligent adults and give Legacy what she really wanted. We moved the furniture in the room, and we added pillows, blankets, squishmallows, Legacy's favorite snacks. I had a nail place set up, and I bought us some girly pajamas, and me, her, and her friend, not the boys, had a great time. Then the next day my husband took her and her friends, including the boys, to a skating place, and we two then to go eat. It was the best. My sister in BIL was mad that we didn't do away with the smaller kids and just did the bigger kids. I told her that what she did 2 weeks ago was shitty and very immature of her, and she said that I was a terrible auntie. Can't wrap my head around that story. What do you think? Who is in the wrong there? Let us know down in the comments section, and let's move on to our last case. Case 4. Am I the bad person for telling my husband he will never be allowed in the delivery room with me again? I, 28F, and my husband, 32M, I'll refer to him as Sean, recently had our first child. The pregnancy went smoothly and Sean was amazing though out. The issue started when I went into labor. I was full term, 40 weeks 5 days, with a big baby 9 pounds 7 ounces, and the labor was awful. It started at around 2 in the morning. I woke with pain. It was manageable, but very uncomfortable. I wasn't at the point of needing to go to the hospital, as in the UK you have to be at least 4 centimeters dilated before they admit you, and my contractions weren't close enough or long enough. Sean refused to get out of bed to support me, stating that it's not proper labor yet and I need my sleep ready for when it is. I went downstairs and things quickly progressed. Now I was in absolute agony and trying to shout up to him to come downstairs. Finally, at around 7:30 a.m., 5.5 hours after it started, he came downstairs. We made our way to the hospital and I was in active labor for 10 hours. Sean was in and out of the room, going to get himself coffee or food, or going to make a phone call. He left the room probably 10 times, once an hour for around 20 minutes each time, every time a different excuse. The worst part comes next. I delivered my beautiful baby boy. Luckily Sean was in the room. I tore pretty badly and needed stitches. Sean said to the male DR who was stitching me up, "Do you think you could add a couple more stitches for me, mate?" Clearly expecting a laugh, but the room fell silent. The DR then said that could cause lots of issues for the patient, so no, absolutely not, and Sean remained silent. I was mortified, embarrassed, angry, and so upset because Sean knows that for me, I have a history of SA. Having a male DR down there would be a very scary, triggering experience for me, and instead of consoling me, he made the situation so much worse. I've told him that in future, if we have more children, I don't want him present and I want my mom instead. He is upset and has apologized, saying it was nerves making him act that way, but I can't get over how let down I feel. Am I the bad person? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.